This man has never knocked nobody out cold. He's a bully. He's slow. He has no skill, no footwork. He's awkward. And I have been giving him a name. Because he fights. When he's fighting, if you ever watch him in the ring, he drags like that after his opponent. and how's the mummy gonna catch me?
And all I had to do was to go out and beat for a man who had no skill, no class. Seriously, the man had no skill. I don't know why the world is so foolish to believe in him and think that I wasn't going to win.
Well, when you say you're ready to go to war right now...
I see that bear on the street, I beat him before the fight.
You'd actually take him on before the fight?
Beat him like I'm his daddy.
Basketball players out there, football players, they want to beat so bad, they want to get everybody. I'll go to Mars, I don't care.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo. How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Lights Out Debates, and we have a good one here, and we got everyone in the house.
Yo.
Yeah, so we got, as you guys can see, we're going to have a good one here. It should be interesting. The question is, has LeBron's Lakers stint been a success? We've got two legendary debaters here. We got SHAI and Ro. You know the names. They're going to decide this topic once and for all. So how's your day going, SHAI? And what do you think your odds are here today?
It's been going great, man. I mean, like, honestly, like, this is not a debate that, like, because I think LeBron's Lakers tenure has been, like, widely considered successful, right? But the real reason why I think I'm going to win this debate is A, I'm going to come with facts, and B, it's just such an easy debate to win on because there's no metric that proves it is a failure. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm fighting, like I got my back against the wall arguing for Scottie Pippen to be like a top 15 player. You know, this is actually an easy debate to win.
Hey, you heard it, guys. He's very confident. Had a few points right there. Ro, why do you feel? Go very quickly. Why do you feel the opposite?
Oh yeah, well here we go. You're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. You're talking about a standard franchise, a franchise whose standards are higher than the rest of the league, and you're talking about a player who was supposedly one of the greatest of all time. So with that comes the expectations and. Again, the key word is objectively. This has been objectively a success. I don't have to prove it to be a failure. Well, I do have to prove it to be a success. And, the fact of the matter is the expectations given towards, once the signing was made and the length of time. Yeah, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down, and we're gonna go through some historical facts.
Awesome. So how we'll do it, guys, is right now we're gonna do your standard 3 minutes or three round 3 minutes here. And did last week, SHAI, did you say you wanted to go first, or did you mind?
No, Ro could go first.
No. You're the visitor. You're gonna go first. I'm gonna invoke because and it's funny.
All right, you're gonna have to do a lot of rebuttaling then, Ro. I'm actually making it easy for you, but okay.
Please.
All right.
Hey,
okay.
I'm the rebuttalist, but yeah, you're gonna go first.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'll be Mr. Stopwatch then, and we'll let you know when there's a I need to get that app here, but I will time it myself. And so,
Okay.
buckle up, guys. It's going to be a pretty good one. This is an unconventional type topic, and I look forward to seeing what they bring. So I'll go ahead there, and as soon as you start talking, Shay, then your time will start. Okay.
All right.
So go ahead whenever you want.
Oh, okay. So the reason why I think LeBron's Laker tenure is successful is because, I mean, you just look at the facts, right? LeBron won a championship and Finals MVP with the Lakers. That already stamps him as a Laker champion. As a Laker, in order to be successful with the Lakers, I think you got to bring at least a Larry O'Brien to Los Angeles, and LeBron did that, right? LeBron also made another Western Conference championship in 2023, so he got 2 Western Conference Finals and 1 championship under his belt. LeBron also made numerous All-NBAs, 6 All-NBAs, 6 All-Star teams, led the league in assists, so he also has a statistical and individual production to back it up. But even if we just look at team success, the Lakers had a winning record in 2020, a winning record in 2021. We might have won the championship that year if LeBron or AD didn't get hurt. 2023, we had a winning record. 2024, we had a winning record. And 2025, we were a top 3 seed again. So we consistently are a winning team. We've been a winning team pretty much every year. LeBron's been with the Lakers except for 2019 and 2022. Not only that, but you also look at what LeBron's done for the Lakers, like off the court, right? When LeBron joined the Lakers in 2018, we were like $3.3 billion franchise, right? That was our estimated worth. But now, 8 years later in 2026, we are a $10 billion franchise. LeBron's increased our revenue by almost $7 billion. You know how nuts that is? That is absolutely insane. And not only that, but and even still then, LeBron's also helped us bring more free agents like a Luka, like an Anthony Davis, 2 legit superstars to LA too. And when you just look at what LeBron's done for LA and LA as a whole, I mean, that sounds like a success to me.
All right. Are you advocating the rest of your time there, Shay?
Oh, I got 5 more seconds.
Oh, you got a whole nother minute, bro.
Oh yeah, a whole another minute. Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, LeBron, I think, like to finalize everything, LeBron James with the Lakers before he got there, right? And we talk about the Lakers being an all-time great franchise. We were a laughing stock from 2014 to 2018. We had 5 consecutive years of missing the playoffs, getting high picks in the draft, drafting 3 top 3 picks in back-to-back years: Alonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and D'Angelo Russell. Not only that, not only were we a laughing stock, we won 17 games in 2016. We won, I think we won less than 25 games between 2015 and 2017 as a whole. We were just a garbage franchise from 2014 to 2018. LeBron comes in the next year. We were a top 4 seed before he got hurt. He got hurt. We missed the postseason, but we still won more games than we ever did since 2013. Then 2020, LeBron, we get a supporting cast. LeBron's the best player in the world. He leads us to a title. And that's what Lakers do. As a Laker legend, you have to lead your team to a title. LeBron already did that, so he submitted as a legend earlier.
Okay, and that is time, almost exactly on time. So we heard the round 1 and row. Your time will start just as soon as you start talking.
$1 million, $3 billion when LeBron got there. And the Lakers wound up being sold for $10 billion. He said that was 6.7 in revenue. No, that's not 6.7 in revenue. That's 6.7 in valuation. That's the difference. Now, having 5 out of 7 winning seasons, let's put that in perspective. The Kobe era, 56 wins, 61 wins, 31 wins in a short 50-game season, 67 wins, 56 wins, 58 wins, 50 wins, 56 wins, 34 wins, a hiccup, 45 wins, 42 wins, 57 wins, 65 wins, 57 wins, 57 wins, 65 wins, and then 57 wins again, 41 wins in a 66-game season, 45 wins, and then the 4 years of the laughing stock before Kobe retired. Now, at some point there was a rebuild. There were 2 rebuilds in that situation. Again, the Lakers are a team with the overall franchise record of 1,200 more wins than losses, 60%. for their with LeBron. You probably run. I'm just going to guesstimate because you have. Let's put it. They won 35 games a year before LeBron. 37 when LeBron came. 52 wins, 42 wins, 33 wins, 43 wins, 47 wins, 50 wins, and 33 wins. They've been on the playoff. They've been on the first round twice. Now, winning the championship, and I'm gonna in the next round. I'm gonna give you some perspective on that championship. But actually, winning the championship didn't duplicate any success other than one conference finals round during a 43-win season. I put the Kobe era in there for perspective. You have a lot of well over 55-win seasons. Actually, more 55-win seasons than not 55-win seasons. Meanwhile, in the LeBron era, you haven't won 55. And again, I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to hide the dirt. 52 wins in a 72 game schedule. That's been the most in a 70 game schedule. That's been the most successful season of the LeBron era, and it's only been one. And that was a championship season, yes. But the fact of the matter is, when you were making those high draft picks, that was called rebuilding. LeBron came to a franchise that had young, talented, under 25 players who now these same players are in their late 20s to early 30s. They're making all NBAs, all stars, the whole nine. Like this, objectively, you haven't had that much success. You've had one championship and one other time out of the first round. This is not Lakers standards. Lakers standards.
Perfect. That is time, boys. So, good round. And we'll go ahead and start round two there, Shay, whenever you want.
All right.
Start talking.
Yeah. So, Ro, when we talk about success, right? I'm glad you brought up the Kobe era is pretty much irrelevant because obviously anyone with a brain knows Kobe's tenure in LA was more successful than LeBron. He played there. He stayed longer. He's a better Laker than LeBron, specifically wearing a Laker uniform, right? But he also won more with us than LeBron. But if you look at just how successful LeBron is not only a Laker legend, he's one of the 7 best Lakers of all time. He has had a Hall of Fame career with LA alone. I'm going to get to the winning seasons in just a bit. But he has had a Hall of Fame season with the Lakers alone. Like I said, 6 All-Stars, 6 All-NBAs, multiple top 3, multiple top 5, top 10 MVP finishes, a ring, a Finals MVP, led the league in assists, broke the all-time scoring record with LA. He also got to 50K with LA. He also got to 10K assists with LA. LeBron's done a lot with us alone in just a short, not short, but within a decade span of time. It's been 8 years that LeBron's been with LA. You talk about getting out the first round just twice. LeBron also won a championship and made a Western Conference championship. It don't matter that he did not, because when we talk about Lakers standards, there's been a lot of guys who've won multiple rings with the Lakers, but that's not what LeBron needs to do. Again, we were a laughingstock before LeBron got to the Lakers. LeBron elevated us, and to me, that is a success. We talk about Lakers standards. What were we in the mid-2010s? We were a joke, bro. We were an absolute joke. We were a consistent losing team. When we talk about the young players that we talked about earlier, it's not LeBron's fault to elevate them. There was a reason why someone like Brandon Ingram had to leave. There was a reason why Alonzo Ball had to leave. There was a reason why a lot of these characters had to leave. Is because when we traded them to New Orleans, we were trying to upgrade. We were trying to get Anthony Davis and build a championship team, because that's what you do when you have the best player in the world at that time in 2019 in LeBron. You have to build a team around him, a competent team to win a championship, and that's exactly what we did. And not only that, but when we look at what the Lakers have done with LeBron as well, LeBron has also helped us bring a lot more superstars to LA. That sounds like a success. He's brought in Luka. He's brought in AD, right? He's won a lot for us. He's been consistent, averaging 25, 8, and 8. LeBron has by and large a winning record with the Lakers too. He's had out of 7 years, it's going to be 8, but this is going to be 6. This year is going to mark 6 out of 8 seasons. LeBron is a 6 out of 8 years. LeBron has had a winning record in the regular season. Not only that, but I believe LeBron's playoff record with the Lakers is not good, but he still has a 75, not 75% win percentage, but 75% of his years with wearing a Laker uniform has been by and large a winning season. Not only that, but But when we look about Lakers standards, right? LeBron does not have to win multiple championships for his tenure to be successful. That's the whole point. When we look at success, being a legend to me sounds like being successful.
And it's
Doing all that sounds like being successful.
good around there as well, guys. So 2 in the books. This is round 2 for Roe. Whenever you'd like, sir.
7 Laker of all time. He steps on his own arguments a lot. George Mikan, in his first season of the Lakers' existence in 1949, won the NBA Finals. He won the NBA Finals again. Then he lost in the division finals, the conference finals, in 51. Then he three-peated, 52, 53, 54. LeBron a better Laker than George Mikan? I think not. Jerry West, right? He only won 1 finals, okay? In that season, they was 69-13, 33-game winning streak, which was the standard of sports. Okay, they only won 1 championship. I'm sorry. In 70, they lost in the finals. 71, lost in the conference finals. 73, they lost in the finals. 69, they lost in the finals. 68, they lost in the finals. 66, they lost in the finals. 65, they lost in the finals. 63, they lost in the finals. 62, they lost in the finals. And Jerry West's rookie year in 59, they lost in the finals after winning 19 games the previous season. Okay, is he a better Laker than Jerry West? I think not. Elgin Baylor lost in 9 of those finals as well, and technically was on the 72 team as well. Is he better than Jerry West? I think not. He talked about the record set. Will Chamberlain set the all-time leading scorer when he retired, and he was on the 72 win team, the standard. They won the championship, lost 2 other finals with the Lakers. Is he better than? He also set the rebounding record. All the records that finalized under Wilt Chamberlain's career was set with the Lakers. Magic Johnson, 9 NBA Finals. You see where I'm going here? Do you see? If anybody, James Worthy, Finals MVP, 2 other Finals championships. Two other Finals championships and 3 other. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Where does LeBron fit into this top 7? Where does he fit in the top 7? My opponent also brings up how the young players were traded to bring in Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic. I'm glad he did that because you now have a top 10 player, and you give us 1 final that again does not have any revenue that could duplicate the success of the Los Angeles Lakers championship. They got knocked out in the first round, and next year they didn't make the playoffs the year after that. Oh, wait a minute. Traded for an MVP, a former MVP, and did not make the playoffs. See, this is what we talk about. My opponent said winning seasons. He actually fooled you guys by saying the Lakers standard is being above 500. Not being getting at least to the finals. The Lakers have gotten to more finals than the Boston Celtics. The Lakers have been in existence for 77 years. They've won 17 NBA championships. Do the math. That's about 23%. In 1 out of 8 seasons, and we can safely assume, unless LeBron does win a championship.
Time, boys. Great points out of there. Time for round 3 for SHAI. Whenever you'd like, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna keep hinging back on my point, bro. A ring is a ring. Don't matter if it's a fucking bubble or not. I know you didn't bring that point, but I'm still gonna say that, right? When we talk about, and this is another thing I really wanted to get to, and I'm glad you brought that up all in your last round, right? You guys love to bring up that double standard of, LeBron trading away guys like Lonzo, trading away guys like B.I. It only resulted in 1 finals, and he could have kept those young players. And I know you didn't say that last part, but still. Right, you can't. It doesn't work both ways. If we're trying to win a championship, like what you said, Lakers fans. I mean, Lakers as a whole, in our franchise's totality, we've been a really successful organization. I think we're the greatest franchise in NBA history, or at worst, a top 2 franchise in NBA history. And that's exactly why if we're trying to win a championship, we're going to trade for a guy like AD. We're going to bring in guys like Dwight. We're going to bring in guys like KCP. We're going to bring in all these guys to win a championship. And that's why we have to let go of some younger guys like Lonzo and B.I. So it can't work both ways. We can't develop the younger guys and try to win a championship, but then simultaneously you criticize us for You know, if we would have kept those guys, we would have not won a championship. So again, I'm not. It is what it is. You got to be consistent. Not only that, but and I'm glad you brought it up earlier too, Ro. Jerry West and Elgin Baylor and the old guys. Most Laker legends have not been predominantly a finals, like they have not been on finals teams with the Lakers. You look at someone like James Worthy. Most of his tenure in LA has not been in the finals. You look at someone like Kobe. Most of his tenure in LA has not been to the finals. You look at Shaq. Half of his tenure in LA has not been in the finals. You look at someone like Pau Gasol. Most of his tenure in LA has not been in the finals. Same with Anthony Davis. Same with a lot of these guys. Only Elgin Baylor. Same with Kareem too. Only Elgin Baylor, Magic, and George Mikan and Jerry West. Those are the only 4 Laker legends that can say that majority of the time they were in LA, they made the finals. So this is a completely different standard. This is a double standard, a really high standard for LeBron. And not only that, right? When you look at what all of these older guys did, right? LeBron doesn't have to do what they did in terms of winning to be considered successful. Because if he already won a championship, he accomplished it. You know, he accomplished the goal. As a Laker fan, the fan base in general, all we need is a championship, and it's going to be successful, right? Because that's what we do. We're not a team that has to win multiple championships because we're not some God-sent team that's going to win every year. So Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, they could be better Lakers than LeBron, but still, at the end of the day, LeBron has just been by and large a very successful. His tenure in LA alone has been by and large a successful tenure. The older guys, what they've done, I respect it, and I think Jerry West and Elgin Baylor are better Lakers than LeBron. But at the end of the day, LeBron's done enough to be considered a Laker legend. He's done enough for success in LA to be considered all-time great. When we look at the board, you know,
great round 3 out of there, and this will be Ro's third round to wrap things up, and we'll go from there whenever you like, Ro.
My opponent has basically illustrated his idea of lowered expectations. Lowered expectation for the guy that he called the GOAT. Remember, he said 50K. Most of those 50K were done in different uniforms, which is funny because, again, if Jerry West got to 10 finals as a Laker, 1 championship, finals as a rookie, and LeBron James got to 8 straight finals before going to the Lakers, he's lowered his own expectations. Calls him the GOAT, yet comes to the GOAT franchise, arguably, because Celtics got 1 more championship, but the Lakers have been to more finals. The Lakers have won more games, more playoff rounds. He's won 5 playoff rounds. Now let's do this. Let's do this. Because I didn't mention the bubble not counting, but let's go this. The Lakers, part of the Buss family organization, their success, they put every dollar they had into the Lakers, and they needed that first round, that first year, for the Lakers to, with a rookie Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to get to the finals, to be the financial success that it would become. They were able to reinvest in the team and continue to grow and continue to play. They were able to get James Worthy without giving up young players. They gave up old players. Again, let's look at this. Since LeBron came to the Lakers have played in 32. They played in 32 playoff games and not in the bubble. Now, it might think it's not fair to say, okay, well, the bubble should count. But again, when you don't have the revenue, playoff home states generate about $10 million per game. That season generated 0. Since LeBron's been to the Lakers, they've hosted 16 playoff games. And 2 play-in games. So that's a lot of revenue. Let's look at teams that have hosted more or played in more playoff games, not in the bubble. The Celtics, they played in 88. The Nuggets have played in 76. The Warriors have played in 68, 69. The Bucks, 60. Long story short, the Lakers ranked 13th, middle of the pack. The Sixers, the Suns, the Mavs, the Clippers, the Knicks, the crosstown Clippers have had more playoff games since LeBron has come to the Lakers. That's not success. That's not success. Look, that's the lowered expectations. They lower expectations to meet LeBron not having success. You had Luka Doncic, the second all-time leading scorer in points per game in the playoffs. You have Anthony Davis, a legit top 10 player. You have all NBA guys. And again, he brought up Dwight Howard. He brought up bringing in guys like KCP. These guys were traded in the midst of everybody has been traded. LeBron has been the last guy standing. The cast has changed. There's been no stability. There's been four coaches. This is the LeBron era. This is not success. Objectively, this is not success. It's been lowered expectations.
Okay. All right. So I want to bring up you guys heard it here in the chat. While you're digesting all 3 rounds from these gentlemen, I'm going to bring up my co-judge who heard the entire thing. Whoops. Let's see. Did we lose Roe here? Hopefully not. So while we're waiting for Roe to get back here, you heard the entire thing there, Ismail. I have no doubt of that. What did you think about your performance, Shay? In a few words, while we wait for. Oh, there he is.
I think it was all right. I think my first 2 rounds were really good as well. I think my last round was probably my worst round, but I still think I closed it out pretty well. Yeah.
Okay. Ro, what did you think about your overall performance and your chances here?
Yeah, I wanted to be more structured, but you know, I'm here driving, and I did pull over for my strong points, but I think I rebutted pretty well. I think King SHAI made a lot of contradictions, and he also put a lot of words in my mouth, like he tried to preempt my arguments, which again I saved a few of them that he thought I would get it to round 3. And even some of the ones that he tried to preempt, I never even got to. But it was again. This is the concept. It's the concept. There's no right answers. There's like I said. I think the lowered expectations part was a strong suit, and I think SHAI stood on the being a championship being success. So I think he did a good job of painting his narrative. But I think he did a little too much of trying to unpaint the narrative that I never really even set.
Well, what I'll say here, guys, is I really, when this is to the chat too, I really do want this is really just like as Rose said, this is the first concept battle that we've had, right? This is just like a debate at this point. I think we're going to turn this into a series and want more of this, right? So this isn't just 2 players heads up or teams. We have those, of course, but this will be a brand new way to kick it off. I thought this was a brilliant debate. I did give it 2-1 to SHAI, and here's why. I thought in the first round, SHAI came out, and I was really looking for just like because SHAI was going to go first, right? And I was really looking for Roe to really debunk everything he said. So SHAI came out and said, "Hey, listen, he's in the middle of an 8-year run, right? It's not over." But so far, they have championship, right? He has there's multiple playoff runs. They have a winning record in virtually every season. They increased the net worth of the Lakers. They've had, as far as just a basketball team, right? There has been a relative success, especially like he also pointed out, like relative to virtually every single other team in the league, right? I mean, short of like those ones who won a title, right? You're in there competing. You're in the upper echelon of the league almost every year. Obviously, you haven't won 8-0 in the title or the finals, but he did paint a good picture. Now, then Roe came out, and I understand what he was trying to do, but he did way better job of that in round 2. But he was starting to just talk about, how does LeBron compare to like Kobe's run or something like that? And like, I just really don't think he did a great job of attacking the objective points that SHAI came out with as far as what they did accomplish. Did a much better that job in round 2, where he did key on the fact that SHAI did say that LeBron was a top 7 Laker or whatnot. And so I did feel like Roe came out and really did give a good rebuttal as to why, in his opinion, that was not true. He mentioned stats and he mentioned other success that these other Lakers have had. And then, but SHAI also did a great job of mentioning that LeBron has pretty objectively had a Hall of Fame career there, as far as if you just look at it in a vacuum. As far as stats, he has the ring there. There's a lot of things he did. He had a couple statistical titles. He led, assist league. But I thought Roe did a better job there of just making his point, which was a compelling reason why LeBron could be considered maybe not top 5, 6, 7, whatever Laker of all time. I thought that was a great round. But SHAI, I think, closed it out because he really keyed on how there is kind of maybe when you go to that team a double standard of what has happened in the past, right? It's not really measured of like what they're doing now and what other teams aren't, and what objective it's ring or bust, right?
So quick question. When I mentioned 13 teams being more, or 12 other teams being more successful in the same period, like as far as playing more playoff games and hosting more playoff games, does that not count?
Well, I was just thinking, it doesn't have. It's like you're not telling me about why. Like it's not about other teams. It's about why.
Yeah, actually, it is, because this is about competing and the expectations. Like you're expecting the best player.
So here we go. So it's about you're trying to. It's not about what other teams are doing, right? It's about what success the Lakers are having. The title of this debate isn't what Lakers or the Lakers teams are doing relative to the 76ers or relative to the Milwaukee Bucks. It's about during the LeBron stint, has it been successful objectively? And again, it's not like do they have a worse record than the Clippers this year? That doesn't matter. They're above 500. I mean, they're winning games. They're making the playoffs. He painted a better picture of why the Lakers have had a modicum of success.
Did you kick them?
Than you did of saying why they did not. Okay.
Travis, did you kick him?
Huh?
Did you kick him? Did you kick Roe out?
He's backstage.
Oh.
So I give that 2-1 to Roe. I'll bring back 2-1 to SHAI, rather. Good job, SHAI. And then I'll bring it back up. Ishmael, what do you think?
Honestly, I gave it to SHAI 2-1 because I was kind of confused on what Roe's argument was for why LeBron with the Lakers was unsuccessful. Like, I think SHAI's argument was pretty simple. Like, LeBron won a championship, and it's like they had more playoff appearances and wins than losses. So it's like that's it. That's his argument, right? And then it's like then Roe was like comparing to other teams, and then he was also comparing to other eras. Like he was saying that then it's like until the very end, the third round, I gave it to him because he said that pretty much LeBron didn't have a successful tenure because the standard for the Lakers, which at the same time, that is still confusing because, like different players have different standards, but yeah, I'm just confused.
Here we go. And herein lies the issue. And again, we're in discussion mode now, right? So please don't backstage me on my own debate. And we all. But here we go. Because I think here's what happens. You bring up this, you bring up that, you bring up this. We got the championship. We bring up this. All roads lead back to the one championship, which I conceded, and I never devalued, right? But yet, and this is the point. The expectations of LeBron's era has been lowered. Again, you bring in the best player in the world at age 33, and objectively, he's been called a top 10 player since. Even this year, he's an all-star, right? He's been all NBA's first, second, or third team every single season except for this one, right? So there's a certain amount of expectations that come with that, and we've changed the expectations. So again, look, it's a concept debate. I think when it comes down to it, language matters, right? And I think I should have did a better job of making the idea that yes, we are going to compare it to other Lakers eras, and we're going to compare it to, which I think is unfair to say that hey, other franchises, including the crosstown Clippers, have had that. Like Clipper fans saw more playoff games than the Laker fans. Laker fans, if you're in LA, you want to go to playoff games. Well, if Kawhi Leonard has bring more, then objectively that should count. It should matter. I'm not saying that says that LeBron James is a failure, but again, has it objectively been a success? Well, for it to objectively been a success, you have to meet Laker standards. And if SHAI wants to call LeBron James a top 7 Lakers, then he has to actually meet the success level and accomplishment in a Laker uniform. Not bring up what he did with the Heat, because I brought up what he did with the Heat. I brought up what he did with the Cavs. He got to 5 finals as the Cavs. He got to 1 as a Laker in 8 years. And again, that's we can judge things objectively, but maybe.
what is a Lakers standard? Like which player
Okay,
standard?
so
Yeah.
I think I put that out, right? They've won 60% of their overall games. They've been to 33 finals in their 77 years of existence, right? They've won
No,
17 of them.
Yeah, but
that's
we were a terrible
but
franchise. We were a terrible team, bro. For
Yes,
like
and
the
I brought
5
that
years.
up too. I did
Yeah,
bring up the period of rebuilding. I did bring up the
yeah,
period of rebuilding, and you're
are you
right.
talking about the
And
yeah.
entire? Are you saying the entire existence of the Lakers, or are you
well,
talking
again,
about a
yeah,
certain
because
era?
the name of the debate is, has LeBron James' Lakers career been objectively Lakers career, not his entire career, which means what he did with
No,
the Heat
that's
and what he
not
did
what
with other franchises is irrelevant.
that's not what that's
I
not
should
what I
have
was asking.
also brought up the pay. I did take payrolls in my notes where the Lakers have had 9 digits in payrolls for every single season that LeBron has been there. They've had 9-digit payrolls, which again now most teams have 9-digit payrolls, but even before the cap went up to 9 digits, the Lakers have had 9-digit. Like right now they have $189 million in payroll. So they spent a lot of money to basically host less playoff rounds in the Clippers. Let's playoff games in the Clippers. The
I'm so
pathetic
confused
Clippers,
right
right?
now,
The Clippers have been a laughing stock, but again, I get it.
bro. I am so confused, bro. Like
I get it. It's a concept. It's a concept, and again, like I said, if you remember the fact that if the debate is, has LeBron's the Lakers career effectively been a success? Again, I get it. You can sit there and say he's the top 7 Laker of all time, and all roads lead back to the conference, to the bubble
okay.
championship.
All right,
Again, I never devalued.
What has okay? When I think of someone that says LeBron, someone has not been successful or anything. Like, look, it's pretty simple. If you go to work tomorrow and your goal is to go to work tomorrow, you have successfully gone to work tomorrow. What does that's what success is. It's just you have a goal and you're successful at it. What was
Okay, so
the
in other
okay,
words,
oh my God.
the Brooklyn Nets suit up and they have the worst record one of the worst 5 records in the league. So since they suit up, there is success right there. This is
Okay,
the
okay, wait,
participation
bro. Let me give you a better
trophy era.
example to compound on that analogy, Ishmael, right? So if you show up to your job, right, and there's a certain standard to your job, right, you just to get the promotion, right, and you
Yeah,
actually get the promotion, right, you may not have been as successful as all the other people who have worked
but you
in your
successfully
position, but the person
go.
who's working in
Yeah,
your position before you was shitty, and you upgraded, you were a better version of him, and you actually did your job and you got your promotion. That's successful. Like
yeah,
you
Quick
did
you're
the
question,
goal.
quick
successful.
question, Shai.
That's
Quick
all
question,
that.
Shai.
Yeah.
What person are you talking about? Are you talking about the young Lakers? Because again,
No,
Kobe
Yeah.
was
I'm
2
just
years
I just
before,
wanted
right?
to ask you a question, Ro.
No.
What makes it a failure? In what case did
See, again, I
like
never use the word. Again, I never use the word failure.
that's
I
what
think
it is.
at the hold on. Wait. It's gray areas to everything, right? So success, failure. I never really used the word failure. I don't think that was my burden of proof. I wanted objectively for his Lakers tenure, has it been a success? Now, that's not to say LeBron has had 0 success, and I think that's where I think that's where, like, obviously he had success, right? But objectively, has the entire tenure been a success? Again, if you're a Laker fan, you're expecting not to go 4 years without at least winning a playoff round. Put it this way: the Pistons right now, they're #1 seed. They went 17 years without a playoff series win. That's the longest in their history. So this is the longest drought, and this is the most successful team, right? That's when you're trying to objectively compare things, so you're comparing it to himself, right? And again, if you're going to call LeBron a top 7 Lakers, well, then he has to meet Lakers standards. I think may prove that all that SHAI did was just lower the standards and expectations of what success means for the Lakers, and that's
Okay,
what a lot of Laker fans. I think that's the reason why I wanted to represent this debate.
so
That's what a lot of Laker fans see as well. It's like, well, we
so if
got a
LeBron
championship.
didn't
We couldn't. Hold on, we got a championship where we couldn't go to the games. We couldn't celebrate with the players. Like, so those guys that got courtside tickets and this, that, and the third, right?
you
You
gotta be a
know,
criteria, bro. You gotta have a criteria. You gotta have
well,
like
again, this is
I don't know, man.
objective success. See again, if
Yeah, wait,
then if
wait,
I
you're
had to
right,
lay
Ro.
out,
Hey, Ro, you're
mhm.
right. Objective success. LeBron was a champ with us. That's
so
objective
so he
success right
had
there.
a
So,
success, but has the
yeah.
entire. If I sit there and say that George Mikan, 5 out of the 7 years he played with the franchise, won championships.
Okay,
That's
so
Yeah,
is
but
the standard
George
George
Mikan was
Mikan?
more
hold
successful,
on.
but
And Shaw even said this that Worthy didn't get to the finals 50% of the years he played. Therefore,
no.
like so again, I
Oh,
mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna redefine what success is throughout your own debate, and then lower the expectation, I think this is what happens. I think what
so
happens, and again,
Did LeBron fail to meet the expectations of what
the Lakers, yes, he
the
did.
Lakers want to do?
Did he fail
Okay,
to
so
meet
then
the
that's
expectations of the Lakers
okay.
as a
So then
whole?
that's a
Yes, it
failure.
did.
That's a failure. That
No,
okay.
no,
So then
okay.
that
Well,
should have been
then,
the
then,
argument. That should have been the
okay.
point.
But then,
That should have been the
I
point.
clearly proved it. Then wait.
Okay.
If that's the
Well,
case, then I clearly
well, hold
proved it.
on. Well, okay.
You
I
you
don't
can't
know what
you
that
can't
proves.
then undo it by
You gotta
saying
let me
LeBron
talk.
had
You've been
success
dominating, bro. You
era.
gotta let somebody talk. You
Okay,
gotta let me
go ahead.
talk. Okay, so if that's the case, then I would think that the best thing for you to do is say what was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to emulate George Mikan's like tenure with the Lakers, Kobe Bryant's? Because it's like that's kind of
How
like
about this?
vague.
Good question. Good question. I hear where you're going. Pick one of the greats that I laid out that he said that when I brought up the 7 Lakers that were clearly objectively better, greater Lakers, pick one of those what those guys did and meet one of them. Again, those
Those
guys got
guys,
the most
those,
fun. Hold on.
as a
Those
Laker,
guys got most. Even James Worthy, the third guy, the third rung on that got in the Finals MVP. Then he got 2 other finals, and he got to
Okay,
another
hey,
3 other finals as well.
hey, Ro, so Laker fan, there's only 6
I
Lakers
see
I'm
what you're
taking
saying. I see what you're saying. So
over
LeBron,
LeBron.
hold on. I see what you're saying. So you're saying LeBron, even if even if he didn't win him any championships, he didn't even fit the standard of a Jerry West that reached the finals or deep in the playoffs. So I see
Yeah.
what you're saying, but I feel like you just didn't formulate your argument around that to make much sense of it. If you did that, I think you would have had a better chance to win.
Well, I mean, again, we got 3-minute rounds, and you got to lay out a lot of numbers and things like that, right? And again, I said that Jerry West got to 10 finals in his Laker career, including one on a losing team in his rookie year, his first year in the league. He took the Lakers to the finals and lost to the Celtics, right? And a theme that would happen. But yeah, I mean, even Will Chamberlain took the Lakers to multiple finals. The 33 wins, like I laid out a lot of things that are the Lakers gargantuan. Hold on, one second. One second. Let me talk. The Lakers have a gargantuan standard of success, which is higher than the rest of the league, right? They have a higher level of standard of success than the Detroit Pistons or any other franchise. Well, that's what it is. And if I want to bring up other franchises, which I think Travis was unfair to say, if I'm going to bring up the other franchises that he's competing against, and then that same 8-year period have had considerable more success than LeBron James, the best player in the world, the GOAT, well, then here we go. If you match up the best player in the world or the GOAT with the greatest franchise, then there's a standard of success that must be met. And I mean, again, I look, it's like I'm framing it better now than I did in the debate. But I found my way trying to.
That's just all I'm saying. It's like you're framing it better now. If you would have framed it better, I think I would have leaned towards what you were saying. That would have been some better points. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think the burden of proof, right? So again, because I think like I didn't never said it was a failure. He had no. It's like this. Ro was never saying LeBron James' Laker tenure has been a failure or overall failure or no success. But the overall, like, and again, it's one thing I wanted to say too. I never got a chance to say how he inherited the franchise. He inherited the franchise on the way up with young talent and promise. How it's going out, the franchise is going to win, and that usually happens, right? Kobe had it, but again, Kobe was there for the rebuild, there to groom some of the young kids, some of the young players that come into the next era, and that's just a natural cycle of how it is. Again, I think one thing I wanted to also point out is that the Lakers' way of doing things have been changed. They never traded young players or ancillary pieces to get superstars. Like even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they traded minimal like talent to get those guys. They traded Gail Goodrich when he was in decline. They traded.
They were
You
they were getting number 1 picks as the champion.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the Lakers way of doing things. They snake the league. Yeah, it's funny. The Pelicans have hosted almost as many playoff games since LeBron.
Well, yeah, but it's just continuous to say that like other teams like, okay, so since he's been there, right? And no other team has won more than one championship, right? What other team has won a championship and gone to the Western Conference Finals? Who the Nuggets?
Well, let's see. The Golden State Warriors won a championship, got to another final. The Celtics have gotten to 2 finals, right? Won one, lost one. The Bucks have gotten to 1. They've been out of the first round a couple of times.
Hey, Ro, you know what this proves? This proves that the Lakers have been a top 5. They went to 2 conference championships. That's top 5 since 2019, bro.
Yeah, only the Bucks. You can't say that. Like,
but you're right. But that's
you can't say that they weren't like you weren't trying to argue that it wasn't there wasn't a failure. That's exactly what you should have been arguing for. Like, there's no gray area here. Like, you can't say. And also, SHAI wasn't saying argue that it was the most successful stint in NBA history.
Let me ask you a question, Travis. You get a B on your test. Is that a failure?
Go ahead.
You got a B on your test. Is that a failure? Is it a failure because you expected an A?
Not at all.
Or is it a failure because you did as a success because you didn't get an F?
It's a failure if you expected an A. Yes, that's still a failure, but you didn't fail the test.
Well, so
for me personally, it's a failure.
Well, again, look.
Yeah, right, exactly, Travis.
No, but that's the thing. It's like if you're holding me to the standards that I need to prove, but if you're holding me to the standards that I need to prove that LeBron's Lakers senior has been a failure, right?
That's actually a perfect analogy. And let me tell you why, right? Because if on your final exam, right, let's just say hypothetically you get a B, but you're a top student and you're expecting an A, right? At the end of the day, you should pass. So even if Laker fans were expecting, like for me, for example, right? Even if I was expecting LeBron to win multiple chips with us, at the end of the day, he still brought us 1. So it still counts as a success, even though it could have been better. You know,
I get it, but remember, it was never my burden to prove that he had a failure. Now, if you want to say the GOAT player mixed with the GOAT franchise, mixed with all the resources given, mixed with mind you, you can't sit there and say he didn't have a Scottie Pippen because he had an Anthony Davis and then he had a Luka Doncic. You can't sit there and say, oh, well, he had nobody. You can't use those. Oh, Jeannie Buss didn't give him every because it's funny. The Jeannie Buss comments is where I came up with this concept, right?
Yeah.
You can't sit there and say that we weren't giving him the tools to be more successful. Then I don't have my burden of proof was never failure. The word failure is not. Hold on. The word failure is not in the debate, and the word failure is not my burden of proof. The word success, objectively, is the burden of proof. And
you're right. Yeah, I can't say that. You're right. I can't say
you prove LeBron is successful for lowered expectations. So I mean, I get it.
But at the end of the day, hey, Ro, you're right. I can't prove that. Hey, Ro, you're right when you said that, right? I can't say he didn't have a Scottie Pippen. You know why? Because he didn't have a Kareem. He didn't have a Kobe. He didn't have an Elgin Baylor as a Laker, right? He had
Anthony Davis, who again, if you want to look at objectively where he ranked, I know you said you also used that he was injured the 1 year. So 1 year he was injured in the play. He actually won playoffs. We could have went all day. We could have went all day. Like this was if we would have had 15-minute round. Which again, this is hard to do. But yeah, this is one of them things you can have this discussion all day. But debate-wise, you got to frame up your argument. I just think, like I said, I think when I use the word lowered expectations, and that's cool. If he was successful at meeting lower Laker expectation and lower LeBron expectation, because remember 8 straight finals before coming to the Lakers. Well, the Lakers would expect at least 2 or a few conference finals runs. You know, again. And then when I bring up Magic Johnson never winning less than 54 games, yet LeBron James never won more than 51 games. Here we go. So I mean, you know, Bro. You know what? Win or lose, I like to have fun discussing. I like to challenge people to think more.
Same,
And I think
same. Yeah.
I think we did that.
Yeah.
I think we did that here because again,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, this was a fun conversation. Yeah.
it's fun. It's like you guys have, like you have in your TikToks that you actually
Yeah.
need to control the room more, Shy, because it's kind of like you guys just start drifting, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Hey, let's go one at a time, and let's talk on this subject and that's
Yeah.
what I need to do on my channel as well. So,
Yeah, I've been trying to
let's,
tighten it up more recently. Yeah.
yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey boys, you saw it here. Some contentious after effects. Your butt. You know what it is. What it is. SHAI with his first official dub on this channel. Obviously, we're gonna get it back in tomorrow, guys. Also, due to some shakeups, we're gonna have presumably a double header with myself and Herm doing who had a bigger meltdown. 23 LeBron James or 24 Paul George. It's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
And also, Ishmael is gonna be in the ring for the first time, presumably. Who his opponent's gonna be, a bit of a question. I'll know by this afternoon for sure, and I'll let you know either myself also or Dark. But I'm not gonna leave you hanging, dude. Don't worry. And what we'll be debating is who's greater. A little bit more straightforward. Who's greater between Larry Bird and Kevin Durant? Okay, so that's going to be an interesting debate there. But yeah, tune in tomorrow, guys. We're going to kick it off.
Hey, Ro, if you want to do the Steve Nash versus Allen Iverson thing, we could do that. We could do that debate if you want.
Wait, what? Want to do what?
The Steve Nash Allen Iverson.
Which one?
Travis. Yeah, because Ro and I we've gone back and forth over this for the past few.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Steve Nash and I. Just let it go,
that would be interesting. But we'll definitely. But yeah, tune in for that tomorrow, guys. And a lot of the team guys will probably be here judging, so we'll see them again. But I love this debate. I thought this was a great. Well, I think this is the kind of debate we're going to have more of too. A concept debate like this instead of just having all the individual players. So. Thanks for Ishmael for helping me judge, and you guys tune in tomorrow. Or again, we're going to kick it off around 11-ish Pacific Standard Time, so stay in touch with that. Otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll bring this episode to a close, and thanks to our contestants.